Hey lovelies, welcome back. If you are new, my name is Yasmin, and today I'm actually going to be talking about something a little bit more serious, which is why I'm in my bedroom floor and I'm ready to talk about it because I feel like this has been a long journey and I just feel like the timing is right for me to film this. So I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. So pretty much I'm going to be talking about my fertility story. I'm going to try not to make this a super long video, but it might end up being a super long video, and I'm sorry ahead of time for that, but let's just go ahead and start from the beginning. So pretty much my whole life I've had unprotected sex. I was protecting myself in the beginning with like my first boyfriend, like we were at first, and then we just kind of stopped. I didn't really think about, I did think about pregnancy and stuff and all that other stuff that, besides pregnancy that can happen, but I really think about it. But over time, like I noticed, like I never, nothing. And then second boyfriend comes around, same thing, nothing. And it was kind of weird. And then of course, my ex, we can talk about that one a little bit more into it, but that one also nothing. And even right now with my husband now, nothing. I really didn't think anything of it. I never actually went to the doctor for it. I never wanted to, because I kind of thought like the worst possible thing is that I can't get pregnant and all that stuff. So like I never really thought about it. And prior to the person I'm with now, when I was with my ex, it was a very, very dark time. And again, I will explain more in detail, but I just never went to the doctor for it. Like I never thought about it, and it never crossed my mind, so I just never went. And when it comes to my family, most of my family is the same way, where they had difficulty getting pregnant and they did go to the doctor for it and eventually did get pregnant. Of course, that's why I'm here. Of course, that might be what's been happening to me, but I don't know because I never went to the doctor for it. But I just assumed, okay, it's hard for me to get pregnant, all that stuff, so I never really thought about it. And obviously when I was with, like, not my first boyfriend, but my second one, that one was like my first like actually long like 3-year relationship. Like we thought about kids and stuff like that, but I never really did anything, like I never went to a doctor or anything like that, because it's just like we were still young and I never really thought about it, but I wanted them. It was just kind of like a fantasy in your head when you're like with your high school sweetheart, oh my god, we're gonna get married and have kids and all that stuff. So obviously that went downhill, but anyways. Then comes my ex. That one was a 2-year relationship, I believe. That one was, or was it 3? I don't remember. It was a long one. It was more than a year for sure, but that one was pretty bad. He had already had a son with somebody, and I love kids. I think they're great. I think they're funny. I wanted to be a teacher before. I was a little bit of a teacher before, and I love kids. They are amazing. And let me just backtrack a little bit before I get into that. I am filming this video because I know that there are a lot of women who have the same problem and struggle as myself, and that are too, maybe they can't find anybody to relate to, or just don't want to talk about it, or don't know what's happening, or just feel the struggle. And I know how it feels. I'm gonna try not to cry in this video, but I get you and I understand you and I feel your pain. But anyways, when I was with my ex, I don't know why. I kind of did, but like I didn't know at the time that whenever, this is gonna make me sound like a bad person, but it's just how I felt at the time, and this is just what I was going through. So in case anybody's going through the same thing, like I'm just gonna say it. Whenever he would talk about his kid or have anything up in the house about his kid, anything that related to his child, mind you, I wasn't part of his life because he didn't want me part of his kid's life, nor did he want his baby mama knowing about me. So I had no part of their life whatsoever. Whenever there's anything related to that, or anything related to his family with their kids, I was I don't want any part of that. I don't care about these kids. I don't care about anyone's kids. I don't care about your family's kids. I don't care about your kid. I don't care about anyone's kid right now. Like, I don't care. Like, I truly like had some sort of hatred there. And then over the years, after talking to my aunt as well, because my aunt has also gone through the same thing and felt the same way, I realized that I was like that towards other people with children because I couldn't have my own children. So if you are feeling that type of way about somebody and they're a child, you need to change that right away, because you're going to end up hating the child. Because that unfortunately has happened to me. I don't do it anymore. Like, I am not that person anymore. I never did anything bad. Like, I never abused anybody's child or anything like that. I was just kind of like, I don't want to hold your child. I don't really care for your child. They were just there to me. Like, I wasn't like, I didn't want to hold anybody. Like, I still don't hold babies, but for the reason, because babies freak me out, because I don't like holding them, because I feel like they move a lot and I'm not comfortable holding a baby, because I don't know how to hold them. So I just I'm very uncomfortable holding babies, but I'm not in the way that I used to be towards other people's kids. But anyways, time passed by and I was still kind of the same. And then one day I found in my ex's truck some fertility pills, and I'm like, where is this coming from? I think we were together like over 2 years at the time, but I found them in his truck. And when I confronted him about it, he told me that he was talking to one of his aunts from Mexico about it, and that she gave him those pills to give to me. He never talked to me about it or, mentioned anything about it. And I had told him in the past as well, because in the past I was very like, I don't want anybody to know about my business. I don't want anybody to know that my uterus is broken. I don't want anybody to know that I can have kids. I don't want anything. I even hated people asking me, when am I pregnant? When am I pregnant? I mean, it still bothers me every once in a while, but it doesn't bother me as much as it used to. It used to literally put me in like the worst headspace ever. Like, it made me more depressed. Like, it made me angry. It made me like all kinds of bad things. It was awful. But that one really, really hurt, because that means that he was telling other people about my problems and what's wrong with me, and that is not okay with me, because I pretty much told him not to say anything about what's wrong with me. Thank goodness that I didn't take them or anything like that, because that man was insane, but like, that was not okay. So wrapping this all up, nothing's happening. I'm assuming that I'm not ovulating, but I don't really know. Like, I don't ovulate. I don't really know what's wrong with me. Like, I didn't know what was wrong with me at the time. Like, I didn't know, so I didn't really think about it, and then I didn't really want to have kids, because at the time I didn't really care for kids. Like, I didn't care, so I was just like, whatever. So I never went to the doctor. Up until last year, I talked about in one of my Get Ready With Me videos that I was diagnosed as pre-diabetic. So I went because I was bleeding for 2 weeks, and I was having these other symptoms that felt like I could have been pregnant. Mind you, this is with my husband now, not with my ex. This is like current. Like, this is what's happening. I already talked about this, but I'm just going to say it again. That way it kind of ties into what I'm going to say at the end. But anyways, yeah, so I went because I was bleeding for 2 weeks, and I was having other symptoms. Like, I was feeling nauseous. I would blow. Like, I had a lot of nausea, where I was going in and out of nausea. It was crazy. Like, I had to have bubbly water on me 24/7. Like, certain things that I smelled just grossed me out. Like, there was symptoms there. And I mean, me and my husband, we do want to have kids and stuff, but I didn't think that it was gonna happen, So I was just like, is it? And it's like, I don't know. And I remember I took a pregnancy test around that time, but it ended up, of course, coming negative, because I thought I tested too early. But anyways, because I was bleeding for 2 weeks, I went to the doctor, and she took my blood work and stuff. She double checked me. I wasn't pregnant, which kind of confused me. I just kept asking her, like, is it too early? Like, what's wrong? Like, maybe it's in there. Maybe I just don't know yet, because I've been like, I don't know what's going on. But I guess when they did another urine sample, they checked, and I was like full blown period. Like, period, nothing else. It was just period. And I'm like, why am I bleeding for 2 weeks then? Like, what's going on? Because I swear to you, I thought I was pregnant. Like, I swear I thought I was pregnant. Like, 150% I thought I was pregnant. And when they told me that I wasn't, again, it made me very upset, because I thought I was. And I actually wanted it. Like, I wanted to be. And I still didn't believe it when they told me that I wasn't. Like, I didn't want to believe it. I'm just like, no, there's a baby in there. Like, there is a baby in there. Like, there's something. I'm really trying not to cry right now, because I'm trying to stay strong for you guys, and I'm trying not to cry because I just did my makeup and I don't want to ruin it. So this was probably a bad day to film this video, but I wanted to do it because, again, with this time frame. So anyways, I found out that the bleeding was because I was pre-diabetic, and when you are pre-diabetic, you do have irregular periods, which I never had before. Again, this is why I thought I was pregnant, because I've never had irregular periods before. My periods were always on time. It was either a day or two early or a day or two late. Like, it was never been like I would have my period, have a break, then bleed again for 2 weeks, and then, you know, it was just sporadic like that, and I never thought that. It was weird. So anyways, when I went to the doctor, I think this was back in October. January. I don't remember what month it was, to be honest. This is all blur because everything went by so fast, but pretty much what I'm trying to get to is now I've been going to the doctor and getting checked and doing all that stuff. Right now I have my appointment. Right now it's April that I'm finished. It's like April 6th or something like that right now that I'm filming this. And I have an appointment in May, so about a month from now, because we are trying to have a baby. So I feel like now is the time. I felt like prior I didn't feel like I was in a good headspace at all. I feel like I wasn't okay enough to do it, and I didn't feel like I was with the right person to do it, to go to the doctor and get it done. Just a little bit of advice. If you were in the same spot as me, just take this advice. Just go to the doctor when you need to go to the doctor. Like, as soon as you turn 18, go get your first pap, go get it every year, go get checked every year, because I didn't do it, and this is what happened to me. So I got, pre-diabetic and all this other problems that came with it. I got yeast infections, UTIs, back and forth, like, for months, and I should have gone to a doctor prior, and I'm just letting you know now, you need to go. If you haven't gone, go. My mom was telling me since I turned 18, we're gonna go. I never went. You need to go, because even though if you're not trying to have a baby, it's good to go and, get checked and make sure that you're doing good and doing okay, because I didn't, and this is what happened to me, and I learned my lesson, and I'm telling you that you don't want to go through the same thing. Especially, if you have, like, problems like me, you really need to go. That way you don't have a problem later on that you could have prevented before. So, but yeah, we are trying to have a baby now. We are going to... I think that during my appointment in May, she's going to double check me again and check my levels, which is why I lost a lot of weight, by the way, because I was pre-diabetic, and I cannot be pregnant if I am pre-diabetic or diabetic because of the diabetes that already comes when you're pregnant. So that can cause a lot of problems during your pregnancy and to the baby. So I didn't want that to happen. So I dropped 15 pounds just like that. I cut off a lot of stuff. I'm going to film a whole video on how I lost all the weight. That way, if you guys want to know how I did it, it was, I was motivated to do it. So I'm just going to film a whole video on it. But I pretty much dropped the weight, started exercising more, eating better, all that stuff, taking care of my body more so I can be prepared for this appointment that's coming. And it's just getting closer and closer every day. And she mentioned giving me fertility pills because she assumes that my body's not doing what it's supposed to be doing, which is why I'm not getting pregnant. So, that's kind of a long story short. I don't want to use big terms and stuff. So it's just like, long story short, my body's not, but she's not doing what she's supposed to be doing. So now she's going to try to give me pills to get me to do what I'm supposed to be doing. So, having a uterus and stuff, like, it's kind of like, it's difficult down there. So she's going to give me pills to do that. And it's bittersweet how it happened, because I didn't want to have a baby yet, even though I love Mark the way I do and I love what we built together. I love it. It's just I didn't think I wanted it as much as I do now. Like, I want it, I need it, I crave it. Like, I want it so bad, and I want to cry because I'm just fingers crossed hoping that with the fertility pills that it works, and that there's nothing wrong with me. I just need a little bit of help. And that's okay, because that's normal, After that appointment, after I let her know I want to try to get pregnant, she, and she told me to make sure to take care of the diabetes and that stuff. There's just, like, again, as I was saying, I kept getting yeast infections and things back and forth. There was always something getting in the way, and it just made me very upset every single time something like that happened, because I felt like there was always something stopping me from getting pregnant. Now that I want it, now there's always something in the way, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like my body's against me and against the things that I want, and I hope that there is something that I could do about it, and I pray and hope that these pills will help me, because if not, I don't know what else to do. I know there's other options, But I don't want those other options. I want this to be the option. I want this to be the answer. I didn't think this was going to be a hard video to film. At least I'm not getting tears all over my makeup. I'm doing pretty good so far. I'm like holding it in so hard right now. So hard. I know that all the messages and the comments about, you know, when we're having a baby, when, you know, not just to me, but to others, you know, when are you gonna have a baby? When's the next baby? When's the baby coming? You know, when are you guys gonna, it's just like, I understand that most of the time comes from a good place. Like, it's a very like exciting place. It's that kind of a place. But, you know, just as someone who struggles with that kind of thing, it's not always a question or a comment that we want to hear, nor that we can answer. So, you know, I just want you guys to keep that in mind, you know, that there are women who cannot do it themselves and are struggling, like on the down low, that you have no idea that they can't, or maybe just had a miscarriage, which is also awful. Like, so that's just kind of a thing that I wish people would keep in mind a little bit more, is to not ask questions like that, because you'll never know what they're going through. And that's just kind of also why I wanted to make this video, because I know people ask us all the time, and I know that it comes from a good place. And now, you know, now I can answer, you know, we're gonna try. Now I can answer, but like before I couldn't, because it was something that made me really insecure and maybe sad and maybe angry at myself, because just like, why can't I? Why can't I, you know? So pretty much I just want to end the video on, you know, the whole reason I did this is because I want, again, anybody who is going through the same thing, I feel you, I understand you, I know the feeling, I know the struggle of seeing every negative pregnancy test. Those hurt so bad. I know the feeling of that. I know the feeling of wanting something and you can't really control it. Wanting something that you think may not even be possible. Always feel like something is always in the way, and, you know, I feel you and I understand your pain. You know, just take it one step at a time. Go to the doctor, get help. If, you know, just get the help, man. Just get that taken care of, and they, you know, if you find a really good doctor like I did, they will take care of you. They will find every way to make sure that it will happen. And of course, when it does, I will share it with you guys, because I want to share pretty much almost everything with you guys, because I feel like the things that I went through is for a reason, and I just want you guys to know you're not alone. So yeah. I guess I'm just gonna end this video right here. And I never really cried on camera, I don't think, so I try my best to not cry that much, because I don't want to ruin my makeup. But yeah, my DMs are always open, phone number's always open, emails are always open. I mean, I really answer emails that much, but DMs are always open. So if you guys ever need to chat or need to talk about something or anything like that, you can just always message me and I'll be there. So I think that's everything for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye.